to Rashtrapati Bhavan, the office and home of the President of India. Completed in 1929, Rashtrapati Bhavan, designed by Edwin Lutyens and Herbert Baker, his associate architect, is one of the most magnificent presidential palaces ever built. The erstwhile symbol of colonial power and imperial domination is today representative of Indian democracy, of its inclusiveness, plurality and secularism. This is not just the residence of the constitutional head of the world's largest democracy, but also in terms of area, the largest residence of a head of state anywhere in the world. When the 13th President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, took over in July 2012, his vision reflected his statesmanship.
Rashtrapati Bhavan is a living heritage, which is now almost 90-year-old. It is also the residence and workplace of the President of India. It has to be preserved as a heritage which must be handed out to the next generations in very good condition.
Much like this clock tower, time seemed to be standing still at the estate. It needed focused inputs from experts and a dedicated restoration team.
We got Intact in. They worked with a team of 40 experts and within 6 months gave us a report which lays down the broad framework of what can be done, what should be done and what should not be done.
The mandate was to bring about a complete shift in approach towards the restoration, running and upkeep of this heritage structure.
Our brief was very clear. We had to make every part of Rashtrapati Bhavan functional, accessible, ready to be utilized. We had to maintain the heritage character of the building. We had to avoid purchases and make use of what we had in our Bhavan itself.
The office of the President is called the Study. This is the formal meeting place for the President where he receives his guests and visitors.
When we began the restoration work here, one of the big challenges was that we had very little to fall back on.
Murals by eminent artist Sukumar Bose inspired the look and colour scheme of the study.
There was hardly any records available. Some photographs were there, but since they were not catalogued properly, it was difficult to decipher them.
Gifts received by various presidents adorn the study. The study opens into the morning room. The President meets dignitaries here.
We started with the carpets. We decided that the carpets would tell us the color schemes, or the carpets would tell us how to work upwards.
Each room in the Rashtrapati Bhavan stands witness to history. To restore these to their former glory, the restoration team had to rearrange available resources in view of the heritage nature of the rooms.
We found furniture, carpet, art from the Lutyens and the subsequent eras. We restored them. We placed them according to the functional requirements and created a new ambience everywhere.
We had these large dumps of old furniture. We carefully rummaged through the heaps and restored a lot of that furniture.
A lot of the furniture was, the sets were, just scattered randomly all over not only the Rashtrapati Bhavan, but all over the President's estate. So it took a while for us to bring these pieces back, then put them in families, and slowly we started discovering that, oh, this table is a brother of that one in that room, let's get them together. Oh, these chairs belong to that family, this coffee table. So we started reuniting the families.
There were trunks of beautiful fabric lying around which had not been opened for many years. So once we opened those trunks, it obviated the need for buying anything new.
Each room had to be decorated, given a character, and then the setting frozen. No chair could be moved once it was set.
Work was undertaken in each room to revive its distinct character, just like the way they were originally meant to be. Fascinating works of art by reputed Indian and European artists were restored to add character to the walls.
We made a positive effort to put in place an e-management system of all the art objects, furniture, furnishings in the building. We have now a very comprehensive record of what we possess here.
Darbar Hall is where the first government of independent India was sworn in. Lutyens designed new viceregal thrones for the Darbar Hall to replace those from Government House in Calcutta. With new flags, paintings and a warm look, Darbar Hall has regained its past grandeur and is now used for hosting civil and defence investiture ceremonies and for conferment of other national and international awards. Next to Darbar Hall is the library. It is also described as the daughter of Darbar Hall. Besides priceless editions of British and Indian publications from the 19th century onwards, it also has more than 2,000 rare books. They are now being digitized and preserved for posterity. Over 30,000 books have been e-catalogued. Of these, 12,000 have been scanned, of which another 5,000 have been uploaded in the e-Pustakalaya.
We have more than 31 lakh photographs. We are digitizing those. It's a long haul, but we have already done about 5 lakh.
Ashoka Hall was originally built as a state ballroom. It is now the venue for accepting credentials of foreign envoys and for hosting state ceremonies and formal functions. Embellishments on the ceilings, carpets and chandeliers have been redone and restored.
Everything has been photographed, catalogued, and properly documented.
Rashtrapati Bhavan, declared a Grade 1 heritage structure in 2009, is an iconic living heritage. It requires meticulous attention to detail in every aspect of its conservation and restoration. The Comprehensive Conservation Management Plan, CCMP, drawn up by INTAC, focuses on these areas and lays down the blueprint for future interventions in the President's estate. This heritage building used to house the stables of the President's bodyguard. It was found in a decaying state due to lack of use. The restoration team took this as an opportunity and changed it to a storytelling museum, detailing salient aspects of Rashtrapati Bhavan's history and independent India's march forward. Yet another large, state-of-the-art museum is currently under construction and is likely to be opened to the public in July 2016.
This is going to be a state-of-the-art museum, about 10,000 square meters. We are going to encapsulate India's rich tradition, starting from 1947. How our democracy has evolved, how the institution of Rashtrapati Bhavan has evolved, what has been the contribution of the various presidents. That's going to be a lasting legacy, the museum, because it's going to stand much, much after all of us are nowhere on the scenario.
The winds of change are blowing rather strongly here at the President's estate. Access to the Bhavan was simplified.
The President gave us a very clear vision. He said that Rashtrapati Bhavan belongs to the people. It should be thrown open to the people. People should be able to enjoy this property, not as a relic of colonial rule, but as a part of the history of this country.
Visitors can now book online using a high-tech interface and visit Rashtrapati Bhavan 3 days a week.
We have democratized the access of the Rashtrapati Bhavan using the e-visitor management system.
For many events at the President's estate, guests are now invited through digital invitations.
Which is a barcode embedded security invitation systems. Again, this system has helped us in creating efficient delivery of the invitation, running into thousands in numbers.
No stone is left unturned to reach out to people. In view of the changing times, the President now maintains an active online presence through digital media. The President's keen interest in education has led to several pioneering initiatives in higher education, such as hosting of annual conferences with vice-chancellors of central universities and directors of IITs and NITs. Programs like innovation exhibitions are being held regularly. An in-residence program has started inviting artists, writers, inspired teachers and students to stay and experience life at Rashtrapati Bhavan. A new ceremonial hall was inaugurated in December 2014. It played host to President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama during their state visit to India in January 2015 and stands ready to greet more visitors.
We built this ceremonial hall in flat 1 year. It included building the place, furnishing it and putting it to use.
As a common citizen of this country, I would have never dreamt of coming into this house. And today, the day when we came here, I was a bit scared I was really worried about how am I going to keep the protocol. But today I'm extremely comfortable, and that all has happened with the President's staff's amicability and their care that they have given to us.
How an institution like this has an open access and creating an environment for an inter-dialogue among various other central universities, my other colleagues who are here, and also the learning process that we learned through this journey in the last more than 7 days. So that has been a very interesting dimension of the entire program itself.
This is not just an officious sort of colonial building, but a normal model city, which probably everyone should adapt in their own cities and regions.
Almost 60% of the President's estate, that is more than 190 acres, is green, comprising dense foliage and rare flora and fauna. Besides spiritual, herbal, cactus and nakshatra gardens, it includes the sprawling Mughal gardens. An acute shortage of water was leading to the degradation of this green cover, causing permanent loss of flora and fauna. 20 lakh litres of sewage from the President's estate and adjoining areas is now getting treated every day at this sewage treatment plant. Inaugurated in June 2015, this plant was completed in a record time of 15 months in technical consultation with IIT Delhi. The treated water gets collected at the Dalikhana Lake that holds 50 lakh litres of water. This water is used to preserve the ecosystem of the historic and exotic gardens of this estate.
We had to be a heritage property with a high-tech orientation and a caring society.
While the 1,700 diligent workers of the Bhavan strive hard to maintain the grand edifice of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Sanskar, a play school, takes care of their young ones and grooms them for life ahead.
It's a nursery school where we have about 120 children who come in from within Rashtrapati Bhavan. We started a midday meal scheme for them. The idea was to provide them nutritious food. This was to ensure that the kids flower and they attain the potentialities that they have. We have about 17 differently abled children in the President's estate.
Sparsh is a respite care centre for special children, launched in 2014. Thanks to this intervention, many differently abled children of the estate are showing remarkable improvement in learning and cognitive abilities.
The initiative towards senior citizens is called Samagam, which is a confluence, people coming together.
Every senior citizen of the President's estate looks forward to this confluence. It's a time for yoga, to play, to interact, and just have fun.
All these three initiatives really have helped this community to get very close together. Since everyone is taken care of here, we are very quickly moving towards a smart township.
The President's estate is getting smarter by the day, in the most modern sense of the word. Besides lessons in financial inclusion, smart classes at the senior school here prepare students for a world driven by technology.
This has been a very positive result-oriented experiment to use the technology-enabled learning in this government school and a government setup.
A rundown building has been repaired and developed into the Pranab Mukherjee Public Library. The residents here now have a full-fledged shopping complex, serviced apartments for their guests, and an ultra-modern health club to stay fit and healthy.
Sports Plus initiative is another powerful initiative. Under this initiative, the Honorable President has adopted 15 children in 3 different streams of the sports, where all the training facilities, their dietary requirement, their sports kits have been provided from the President's Secretariat.
The estate is resonating with the sound of music, representing the richness and diversity of India's art and culture.
Each one of them, whether it is in the sphere of music, whether it is in the sphere of dance, whether it is theatre, has left an indelible impression on India's rich cultural heritage.
Under an umbrella initiative named Indradhanush, once every month, doyens of India's performing arts regale the audience. Indradhanush was also the first in the series of books comprising a multi-volume documentation project.
We are going to have 11 volumes, and these 11 volumes are going to cover various facets of Rashtrapati Bhavan.
We have been able to achieve a lot. We will leave behind a roadmap which will be easy to follow, which will be in consonance with the long-term projections of what Rashtrapati Bhavan should look like and how to preserve and conserve its heritage value.
After an energetic stage of growth and revival, the estate is now ready to march forward as a metaphor for modern Indian democracy. Vibrant, energetic, happening, and on the move.